Literary festivals are just springing up everywhere. Just every little town, every little community has its own festival. And more often, and people are flocking to them as something to do over the weekend or on a day, on a nice, pretty Saturday afternoon.
The festival is almost as much fun as reading books, and especially as reading poetry. It's fun to meet people whom you haven't met in a long time. It's fun to meet people whose books you've read, but upon whom you have never laid eyes.
It's like a literary fair. You can decide if you want to hear so-and-so or this person or that person. And the program is, you know, accessible to everybody. I don't think there any such thing as reserved places. You just wander in.
Literary festivals for me are sort of like bluegrass festivals in that, you know, you're off by yourself practicing your guitar or your banjo for hours on end, and then you get up with all these other people that do the same thing. So it's a time to talk shop and compare notes and actually maybe do a few things together. I think you get a sort of a new kind of energy out of coming together with people who are doing what you do.
It's like, wow, someone else who's passionate about the same things, who understands those spaces that you have to go into where we speak that same language. You know, we don't have to first explain what it's like to be in that kind of space with your head and your heart creating, you know. So it's just, you can look in someone's eyes and share a moment without even often having to say anything. And then finding out what other people are doing or writing.
There's some writers that come to the festivals that I never have an opportunity to see otherwise. This year there are a couple of people I haven't seen in years who the festival's bringing them to Chapel Hill, so it'll be a great opportunity to see them. I go to a few readings. Most of these people I am familiar with. I've already gone to see them read, and so it's the personal component of it for me is the most important component.
I get to come and I get to share my books, and I get to share it one-on-one with an audience. But rather than having it, say, as a school where I go and it's all going out of me and in one direction, I get to go sit in the audience of other writers, and there are a few that I'm really looking forward to. I was looking at the list last night, and I was looking at Tobias Wolff, who I love Tobias Wolff. I bought his first book in hardcover, which is just wonderful. And I'm looking forward to being in his audience. And I'm looking forward to some of the other ones, because that's how I refuel. I get to hear what they have to say and be part of theirs, so I get to get back.
I love being around artists. I just love when we can all get together. There's so much creative energy in that space, in that place. I think writers can get ideas and energy from visual artists and sculptors and dancers and theater people, and they can appreciate and get some ideas from what we do. I've just had some wonderful experiences in that collaboration with other artists.
And I think that's also the benefit for people who come to hear the writers, is that you hear them in a new combination. You might just be hearing their voice on the page, their singular voice on the page, but something new could happen when you get that voice mixed with several other voices, and that's what happens at literary festivals. And it happens formally at panels and readings, and it happens informally at lunches and just people seeing people they haven't seen in a long time and stopping to talk, and I think it's just a great experience for everybody.
I think the benefit is that the people from those communities get to engage in ideas that you know, they may be reading about, but this is a dynamic way for them to do that, to meet authors, to challenge them if that's what they want to do, their ideas, the things that they've written, and inspire people to, you know, pick up pen and paper themselves and put their thoughts and ideas down or write their stories down.
People are reading out there, and we think that the general opinion is that people aren't reading, that books are dying, and that's just not the case. I think the shape of books and reading is changing, but people are sure reading, and I think the growth of the festivals as well as the growth of MFA programs everywhere is indicative of that.
And whether we're presenting or whether we're just coming as spectators, we're all readers. And so that's really wonderful for me, is to be in a community of book lovers.
I think more than anything else, it does give Chapel Hill an identity, because having all these people come here is a huge literary event, I think, for North Carolina.
They're also good for tourism, especially for cultural tourism, I understand. And it's a way that a community can let itself shine a little, especially if it has, as Chapel Hill has, a highly regarded rank of writers of its own who can interact with writers from other places.
So it's really great, I think, for any city or town to be able to say, this is something that we believe in, not just written down on paper as policy. This is something that we have policy for, that we write grants for, that we look for money for to support it. And here it is in front of you. You can come and spend a Saturday afternoon and be part of it.
I think, any community today benefits greatly from being able to tell stories, to keep stories alive. It's a human tradition to do that, and any community that opens itself up to being able to do that really benefits greatly from it.